Batman, Bruce Wayne. Some of the stuff he does, you would think impossible for him to only be 6'2" and 210 pounds, but he can lift more weight than the strongest powerlifters in real life. We talking about a guy whose family was richer than the Kennedys. This is all this stuff that happened before he was Batman 16 years ago. His family got killed. People are jealous, obviously, because he was the richest boy in the richest city in the world at the time. Can literally buy a mountain. The Batmobile is worth $1.8 million. $8 a gallon. Video surveillance, motion detector, thousands of thousands. Motorcycle sidecar, $27,000. The price of being Batman is steep. A fully stocked utility belt is $3,600. Kevlar cowl mask is a lot. Miniaturized voice activated radio receivers $500. Just the cost of a lot of these gadgets. You can pause the video if you have to see all of this. Not to mention courage, dedication, and training. The Batcave costs billions of dollars worth of technology and surveillance just overall in general. I mean, he did cover the expenses for people's college fees. Bruce is just awesome. Naturally, he has this trusted batarang as part of his gear. Batman's famous utility belt has pretty much everything you can think of. It has infrared flashlight, smoke capsules, fingerprint dusting kit, miniature camera, lockpick tools, tear gas pellets, microprocessor power source, micro cassette recorder, batline reel, laser torch, plastic explosive, grenade, rebreathing apparatus. And of course, you know, he has his trusty Batmobile. This is just a little tip of the iceberg type of thing. It's like sometimes the writers kind of give him gear necessary for the story. Like he has netting stuff too. Has some sort of explosive foam? He has batarangs that are torpedo explosive, evidently, which can even damage military submarines. Like, whoa. He has knockout gas grenades, has knockout darts, even adrenaline darts. He even has random gear at times, like even EMPs, just carrying those around somehow. He even carries around acid. Okay, you see? If he doesn't beat you with his hand-to-hand combat or martial arts skills, he will beat you with one of these gears. Like he has lasers that can cut through stuff too, lasers. Bruce Wayne is kind of paranoid. He kind of even prepares for stuff happening when he's not in his suit, just in case somebody might catch him off guard. Bruce Wayne actually carries around nose filters for toxins and stuff like that, just in case stuff like this happens. Talk about paranoid. He even carries a dart launcher in his freaking sleeve. He's always prepared. Actually has a toothpick in his fake tooth. Yeah, okay. More or less, his suit, or a bat suit in general, is Kevlar lined, so just normal bullets ain't gonna just pierce through his body and just kill him instantly, right? Can run an electric charge through his whole suit. His cape is evidently sharp and can be used as a weapon as well. The cowl can evidently release stuff enough to stun Grundy. Grundy in this occasion was mind control though. He's like super inconsistent with his power level, so he more than likely wasn't Superman level here. Just want to make that clear. Trying to go too much into his supercomputer, all that good stuff, the different interests and surveillance in the Batcave and stuff like that. Bruce Wayne's manor and all that stuff. He actually has a shooting range in his Batcave, has an entire fake city block for training sequences and scenarios. Yeah, that's why these guys are so prepared for everything. Holographic training room. This is similar to the Danger Room in the X-Men. Yeah, I know that's crazy, right? And yet even has an obstacle course. You gotta love it. Let's get into his skills. Batman is very precise in things like that. It's even stated that there isn't a nerve strike that Batman doesn't know. He can apparently sense chi. Batman even knows a spell or two that can help him get the jump on you. Those words I recited, Zatanna supplied them, but if he pronounced them correctly, they'll short-circuit your magic from 1 hour. Batman even used backward magic one time, like, the stuff Zatanna be doing. This guy spent 3 months learning how to kill demons. Literally uses magic to create a large mech suit. Tell me that isn't awesome. Backwards magic, armor, form. He can hypnotize people to tell the truth. Hypnotize himself to make him forget he was Batman. In this magic battle suit, he has blasts that can one-shot killers like Bizarro. Bizarro's sleep. Via prep time against the League and stuff, he placed serious hypnotic stuff on his own mind, so Martian Manhunter wouldn't be able to just read his mind and understand what his prep time stuff is. Can shut down his body to accelerate his healing, so has a lot of mystical fortitude. Not the best sorceress, obviously, but he has little baby spells here and there that can help him out in certain situations, or if the plot demands it. Lady Shiva acknowledges how good Batman is in combat. An apocalyptic trickster guy considers Batman one of the most dangerous men on their planet. Superman considers Batman one of the smartest people on the planet in the same league and such. Even in Atlantis, Batman is known as one of the greatest fighters, even under the ocean. When Batman says, "Then I'll kill you," Swamp Thing says, "Yes, I do believe that you might," showing that he has the ability to kill Swamp Thing, supposedly. I'm thinking he's referring to not using his fist in another way you can kill him, or with prep or something, right? Even then, how do you kill Swamp Thing? But that's none of my business. Can disable characters like Green Arrow, other good fighters in DC. With a nerve strike. Seems to be a gap in skills between these two, though. I'm not even going to lie. When it comes to marksmanship, you probably, Green Arrow probably got it, but, hand to hand, Batman seems like there's a gap. Yeah, Batman's a master of disguise. Yeah, I know he looks like Ronald Reagan. Don't ask. Master of disguise. He takes out somebody with a nerve pinch. Yet again, technical fighting skills. Intercepts a flip coin with a batarang throw. He's that precise with his skills. So there was this time he was running, right? He ricocheted his batarang off a wall, off a statue, knock out 3 thugs. Yeah. There's a decent amount of marksmanship, throws his batarang to where it jams the gun. Freaking KO'd a henchman with a freaking penny. Throws a gun and bounces it off 3 thugs, dodging bullets. Here, as you can see. Lady Shiva, oh, you know Batgirl's mother. He actually got intense training from characters, some of the best fighters in fictional history, like Lady Shiva. He's learned from her, got all kinds of training, being able to predict his opponent's moves. He's even proven in combat when he was fighting as being known as Vigilante, using his skills able to predict his move before he even did it. Yes, the same Vigilante that appeared in the CW Arrowverse. Yeah, I know, that's crazy. He's a comic book character, just in case you didn't know. This is one of the things that makes him superhuman. He's like literally a master of every single hand-to-hand combat style known to man, thanks to rigorous training. For Pete's sake, even Wildcat trained him in boxing. Even Superman believes he's one of the smartest people on the planet. How though? Like, how do you even have enough time to learn all this when you're only 30-something years old? Bruce Wayne's only 30 years old. He did not time travel. He did not learn these things. He does age. So it's like ridiculous how that's either super fast learning and dedication or not getting no sleep. And then it says he's a peak human, even though he's above peak human, but no peak human is doing that. Stated on panel that he has mastered all the fighting arts. He gave Batgirl a CD of all the fighting styles he's learned, 127. Yes, he has learned 127 fighting styles, fighting arts. Just take raw hits from characters like Clayface without any armor on. Even Olympic level athletes are nothing compared to Batman when it comes to all physical capabilities. Stated here, he is also master of all forms of physical combat and unparalleled strategist and tactician. Expert in the art of disguise, and has been called by some of the world's greatest escape artists. His reasoning and inductive abilities are second to none. He has shown consistent times to be moving too fast to get a decent aim on him. While he's in the middle of saving somebody from a train, immediately died his gunfire. Like, yeah, you're probably, oh, he just aim dodging. Oh boy. He has had times where he seemed to be a blur. He was able to blitz Nightwing and Tim and, fighting, of course. His speed, they couldn't really hardly react to Batman's speed and combat skills and paralysis, basically. He's literally caught up to a car by sprinting and jumping. Yeah, you've seen this, right? Another occasion of him moving like a blur in combat. Projectiles that are moving faster than I can see are slower than evidently batarangs. He can intercept shurikens with batarang. Yeah, his combat speed. Or some would say fighting speed is very precise and focused. Catching another arrow in this occasion literally splits an arrow in half. Has straight up blocked bullets. Reaction time. You see the range of this guy? Like, he's right near him. He shot him and blocked, like, there it is. It's not aim dodging. The bullet was literally on flight. It's literally confirmed that Batman's reaction time and combat speed, his eyesight is so good that he can perceive bullets in slow motion, similar to how characters from Marvel that are super soldiers like Captain America can perceive bullets. Batman can do the same. And it's consistent too. He has consistent showings of dodging bullets, whether it's in front of him or behind him, on multiple occasions, so you can't really say it's an outlier. Even from behind a door, pretty much catching them off guard. Same goes for sniper bullets, can react to that as well. Proving his combat speed even more against characters like Nightwing. It is pretty much confirmed to have better agility than him, but yeah, there are times where Nightwing has some decent trouble tagging him. But yeah, they're pretty close in speed though. If I was, to be honest, yeah, they be going at it. Even though I gotta agree, occasions like this shouldn't happen. There's times where speedsters aren't moving their fast speed, or they underestimate a lower tier character's speed. This is an occasion where Batman was actually able to tag Kid Flash in this specific occasion. We know Kid Flash, if he was really running his fast, he would be too fast for even Batman. Oh, but he's human, right? Yeah. This large fall, yeah, he's human though. Should have comparable speed to characters like Cassandra Cain, right? Who can literally stare down bullets while they are mid-flight with his freaking raw strength alone. So there's this large piece of rubble he had to move out the way. There was this large penny, like you see how big this penny is? Was able to stop this large penny by pulling it. Was able to move these large crates of explosives. Was able to use his strength to move this, yeah. He was able to hold up this large piece of concrete, guys. I'm pretty sure he's not human. Absolutely ridiculous. He was able to hold up a little piece of a collapsing building. Not the whole building, obviously, right? But I don't care if it's 1/50th of a freaking collapsing building. That's freaking ridiculous. Or 1/100th of a collapsing building. I don't care what little piece of he did. This is absurdity. Like this. Well, okay, if he can lift this much, imagine how much he can strike with. That's why a lot of people bring up lifting feats, and I'm one of those people as well. More than likely, you can hit way harder than what you can lift. And Batman has kind of pretty much confirmed that as well. Literally kicking a concrete pillar in half with his kicking power. Literally punching through a wall, pulling this weird psycho person through the wall. There was this reinforced glass that he was able to crack. This wall was designed to take A bazooka, by the way. Literally has the attack power to break a gun in half. Another occasion of him breaking another gun with his raw strength. Oh, what do you know? Another occasion of him breaking a gun. Comic logic, right? There was a sentient building. Yeah, a building that's alive. He was able to punch through the floor of his sentient building. Somehow, he was able to break out of being frozen freaking solid. Let's get into his stamina and willpower. He can fight for 3 days straight. Stamina and willpower, right? He'd be fighting like people and he'd be like sending them flying far. He's like pretty much curb stop characters like Green Arrow before. Like he's that skilled. He has too many occasions of his striking power, being able to punch through brick, kicking down trees, stuff like that. Like shattering a sentient stone gargoyle, he can punch that hard. Most of the time, normal handcuffs can't hold him. Casually swinging around Man-Bat, 600-pounder. He achieved all of this with just hard work, dedication, lifting a massive amounts of weight. Like, look at that big old weight he's holding and bench pressing, dude. Even while young, lift massive amounts of weight, training, and etc. Reaps the door off of airplane hinges. Like, man, he ain't normal human, man. He can even leg press 2,500 pounds. Can easily rip chains apart. Can pull massive steel beams with his Gatling gun. Like, yo, these big things. He's had a lot of notable fights over the years, fighting people that are pretty much superhuman themselves, like beating up characters like Green Arrow yet again. Yeah, he keeps on abusing Green Arrow in this vid, I know. Characters that can fight pretty well, like Catwoman, are generally portrayed to be lower than Batman when it comes to skills, power, speed, and etc. over and over again throughout the years. And she just likes Batman anyway, so it doesn't matter. Gotta love it. Easily overpowers and subdues characters like Catwoman. Even fights this character known as Karate Kid in a contest of pure skill, being that's debatably one of the also, if not the best hand-to-hand fighter in DC as well. Able to fight with him over and over again. If you still don't believe he's superhuman, like I said, Solomon Grundy is one of the most inconsistent characters of all time, but he was able to get the advantage and even defeat Solomon Grundy in this occasion. Obviously, he wasn't at those crazy power levels here, though. Still a superhuman, metahuman by definition. He's fought characters that are so-called, quote-unquote, enhanced with super soldier enhanced, like Deathstroke, has fought Deathstroke in some decent war, showing despite him not having no super serum or anything, he still has the strength to compete and not be dead weight. Batman didn't have his weapons here, by the way, just in case you were wondering. Don't know why I didn't go over this earlier, but he literally beat waves and waves of people, like 20 plus people. Like, you gotta be a formidable foe in combat and speed and everything to fight him one-on-one if he can take out this many people by himself. I'm not playing. Like, he beats waves of them, 40 of them armed. They were literally armed. They got completely mollywopped. Whoa. Dang, Batman? God dang. I'm not playing when I say he be taking down waves of people. Like, it's gotta be at least hundreds by himself. Yeah. What is this, a gladiator mat? Good gracious. God dog. I'm in admiration of this many people. He's had occasions where he's fought superhuman characters like Killer Croc, along with Catwoman, until the fight ended, abruptly. No winner here, though. X-Men and Man-Bat, by the way, also were helping. Just in case you were wondering, that he's fought Slade and characters similar to Captain America, just because he doesn't have the actual serum or he's not enhanced by definition doesn't mean he's not enhanced. He worked his way up to that level somehow, some way. Doesn't make the most sense on how you can work out and get that strong or speed and etc. But hey, that's fiction. There's a lot of characters like this. And if he didn't have no suit on or nothing, could actually take down an actual gorilla. I mean, why wouldn't he be able to take down a gorilla if he's fighting Killer Croc and was able to fight him? Clayface and Deathstroke, all those characters are stronger than gorillas. Man, I don't know why that seems so unreasonable. How could he beat a gorilla? Dude, he fights metahumans at the advantage over Grundy. Like, come on now. Like, a gorilla wouldn't be nothing for Batman. He probably can fight 50 gorillas, if I'm being honest. But that's just me. To further put the nail in the coffin, the really good game that has amazing story mode with amazing cutscenes, like that's basically like a movie. Even their interpretation of Batman is pretty superhuman, even though he basically has the same powers and abilities and gadgets as the main comic book one, the one I just went over in this video, basically based off that one, right? Even characters that are weaker than him in this game, like characters that can fight pretty well, but still weaker than Batman by a lot. I know it may be hard for some of you to swallow, but even characters like Harley Quinn and Catwoman are generally portrayed to be superhuman as well. They're Gorilla City with Gorilla Grodd. I know this may be hard for you to chew, but even these characters are comparable to gorillas and even be able to beat down multiple gorillas. Yeah, that's right, even Catwoman. They're portrayed like this in the game as well. And unless you believe that Catwoman in the game is stronger than the comic book one, then yeah, this is pretty accurate to the comics as well. Harley Quinn doing this to gorillas. People that are new to comic books and don't understand how humans work in comic books may see this as bad writing or just terrible, when this is actually pretty consistent considering Killer Croc is stronger than gorillas, so why shouldn't they be able to do this? I'm just saying. Yeah, let that sink in. Catwoman and Harley Quinn are portrayed, even in the video game that's not even canon to the main comics, are portrayed this powerful. And I'm pretty sure they're not stronger than their comic book counterparts. I'm just saying. And Batman is above her even in the Injustice Saga. Matter of fact, Harley Quinn was working for Batman in the Injustice Saga. So just give you an idea. Yeah, I'm not tripping. When people bring up prep time, they always bring up Batman, let's face it. It must be awesome in DC to be a human, because if you train enough, you can do superhuman stuff like reacting to bullets like Batman does, right? You know, just the standard stuff that a superhuman with no super soldier serum or no powers can do, because Batman has enough training, because humans with enough training in comics is awesome and can do superhuman stuff. He even stated here, I almost feel like I could pick these bullets right out of the air, and implying that he perceives bullets in slow motion. This is consistently accurate with the people in his lore and the people he fights, because other Bat family members like Batgirl, aka Cassandra Cain, has done similar stuff when it comes to bullets. Like literally dodging bullets as they are fired in the middle of flight. You see the bullets here, you see her here, dodge, dodge. This is consistent with Batman saying these bullets are slow motion, because other Bat family members that he has comparable combat speed to can do this. How strong is prep time Batman?
You gave me the kryptonite. I never thought you'd use it.
During the Doomsday Clock event, something that's kind of recent, they stated that Lex Luthor and Bruce Wayne are two of the smartest people in the world here. He somehow miraculously figured out, based on your power signature, I had it made special just in case this day. It affects you the same way kryptonite does me. Good to have paranoid friends. He's talking about Batman, by the way. Wrath, fight Batman Wrath, New 52, Beast Mode. There's like a myth that Lucius Fox in them does all of his building. He actually can manufacture his own gadgets, by the way. He says 99% of the parts I machined myself. Some of them Wayne Tech has already manufacturing. And by the way, he does occasionally invent technology for the company. I'm just saying. First of all, he gets to know his opponent quite well to help him later prepare if the occasion might need to arrive. He even runs thousands of scenarios daily. It states here, every day I run through 1,000 different scenarios. I work out ways to defeat villains with MOs and pathologies that haven't been thought of yet. I imagine 1,000 potential death traps and plot my escapes. They wasn't lying when they said this guy preps. He fought this guy known as Prometheus, studied his tech, used it against him. The villains he fights consistently, he analyzed their tech so he can develop countermeasures. I need to analyze Freeze tech, develop countermeasures, you know, that type of thing. I mean, when you think about it, he has to have some countermeasures. Some people you ain't just beating with fist fighting, like Clayface, for example, basically a dude that you can't really punch. He has to consistently find out new ways to imprison this guy, because he's literally made of clay, and physical attacks usually and normally don't work. Batman has bombs on the moon, like moon busting bomb. Like what? It states here, we've lost the moon. Like look at that explosion. Just about everything you can think of. He has plans for if he dies, he would instantly contact Alfred, goodbye message, blah, blah, blah. He has contingencies that monitors the state of the world, and if need be, make a new Justice League if they were to die. See Green Arrow, Firestorm, Hawk Girl, that type of thing. This guy, Batman's deductive reasoning is so good. He predicted the events of Green Arrow's bachelor party and prepared for it. Really, Bruce? Really? Prepared for his own demise, so there will always be a Batman. Now, when it comes to Doomsday level threats, he has a strategy of Battlefield removing them to the Phantom Zone. Doomsday Protocol. All right. I'm not going to read all of this. Look of what Batman has to counteract different members of the Justice League or heroes and stuff like that. This is some deep stuff. You got one for Plastic Man, Aquaman, like he's literally figured out ways to fight these guys or beat them. Wonder Woman, Lantern. It's just absolutely crazy. He's got all of these type of contingencies. Yep, Flash, Martian Manhunter. It's just crazy. Batman got all this figured out. And of course, you guys remember the famous Tower of Babel storyline where these contingency plans actually got put into fruition against the different leaguers and they got messed up from Batman's plan. This is the famous movie that got animated, of course. The one I just showed you was Martian Manhunter. This is Aquaman and Plastic Man's plans that Batman made in the Tower of Babel saga and how it jacks them up. Even his plan for Green Lantern Kyle Rayner. Isn't that just straight up madness? But how? And this is how his contingency. She believes she's fighting a battle like for hours and hours and hours to exhaustion. Her mind literally thinks she's exhausted. She will never surrender. Having a heart attack. There was an implant that put you in an endless VR battle, banking on the heart to give out eventually. And here's the contingency for Flash. Seizures. Epileptic seizures at light speed. These people can't be giving Batman no prep. And as for Superman, oh boy, that should be the obvious one, right? Like, what the heck is going on here? Gosh, Batman jacked up the whole league with his prep. The mutating effects of Batman's red kryptonite have turned his skin transparent, consequently The solar energy that powers him blazes directly into his organs. Like, whoa. It literally has it all, like, archives on how to beat all the members. Like, he's really ready. So there was this time a future version of Aquaman stole some contingencies of Batman's plans. Something to counteract Superman. There was a temporal grenade for Flash. Somehow has gadgets that makes the Green Lantern ring not work. And then you have Cyborg, some tech that locks him up. Batman had these, really? Oh man, the contingency plans aren't done, yo. Like, look at this. All of this archive. Kryptonite, I recovered this after Sinestral Core attacked Earth. It doesn't have much of a charge left, but it could be effective against a power ring. A lightning rod from the future. It might slow Johnny Quick down, providing he taps into the same extra dimensional energy the Flash does. I'm not sure if this mother box will do anything to stop Grid, but it might be able to provide the transport. Yeah, he even has schematics of Cyborg's cybernetic body. So he's pretty familiar with all the Leaguers, just on how they function. Did he not think of everything? I mean, he just made hardening foam to contain different Leaguers if he had to. He has a red solar trap, aka prison, for Superman if need be. Like, how though? Like, seriously, when do you get the time to make up all this stuff? He literally made up a whole bunch of fake identities in case their identity was compromised, and they could just switch up their identity in like 10 minutes or so if they had to. If somebody tries to trace him digitally, it just deletes everything automatically. He has a contingency if a hacker basically tried to track him through the digital network to figure out who he is. Oh, you trying to track me through the computer data banks too? Thought me noticing? Oh, it's just going to delete all the information on me, period. He has a contingency to seal off Gotham in case of a biological attack. Here's the details of the contingency during the Batman Who Laughs event. Isn't that crazy? The contingency actually launches a whole bunch of drones. He like kind of created a backup personality in case one of them got compromised, made a secret self to save himself. This guy even has the plan called Fenrir to use fake gas to make everybody clear out. You know what I'm saying? He has a procedure that was made to look into Robin's death. He's practically untraceable. No ordinary means of detective work is going to figure out his identity. I brought this up in my other videos. You remember that guy Convict? The same guy Convict that be fighting like Superman and Wonder Woman in Raw Power. He has like some powerful gas that was strong enough to like literally make him go to sleep. Some special gas, of course, kind of hacksy. The gas is tailored for his species to put him under cryo sleep. That's insane. He has so many battle suits that it makes you think, is he Iron Man or something? I mean, sheesh. Some suits are not as flashy as others. Like some suits are just for certain weather conditions, like an Arctic suit, for example. An underwater suit has multiple different variants for different environments, just in case occasion might arise. You see what I'm saying? This type of stuff he has for the underwater modules of his suit. Suits that allow him to survive in space, obviously. But wait, why is Superman wearing it over his mouth? You know what? He even has hazmat suits made to work with his armor. Jetpack. He literally has an anti-Clayface suit that is specifically made to destroy Clayface and beat him in a fight. Hydrogen fluoride. It also has electrical blast and freezing gas. He even has this cool suit. Uses herbicide on him on this occasion. He has a hazmat suit that was able to withstand the pull of a black hole. They state here, a black hole. Was it like a solar system level black hole? I don't know. But I know this suit has medical scanning capabilities and enhanced thermal imaging. That's cool. By the way, his Arctic suit has flaming fists. Can fire heated copper batarangs. He has anti-freeze equipment to fight Mr. Freeze. Like, look at that. Of course it has heat-based stuff. It has this big behind flamethrower that melts through a ton of ice. Wouldn't that be cool if you could use this against Mr. Freeze in that new Gotham Knights game? Even though I don't think Batman's going to be in it, but some suit like this, some anti-Mr. Freeze suit with fire would be cool. It's even able to melt itself out of being frozen completely solid. Look at his medieval armors, like an actual literal sword. If Batman was in Game of Thrones, I need to stop being funny. Has a suit of armor too. I'm going all over the place in different continuities with these bat suits. Don't judge me. Oh, by the way, remember that anti-Mr. Freeze suit? It's actually durable to take its own flamethrower, just in case you're wondering. It is pretty durable to its own attacks. Don't lie. You like it, and it's epic to see Batman geared up. One of his mechanized suits is like the Insider suit. For example, it was able to take a hit from Geoforce. It took the brunt blast of a rocket launcher. This suit is epic. It can even recharge by absorbing energy attacks. He fought Batgirl one time, right? This Insider suit got like a lot of different abilities. Heat vision, lantern power. It's pretty freaking broken. He's one of them suits where it could jump him in tears. It's like a little practice session here. Shows like a speed force mode. Look how he's blurry. Wow. It can even turn invisible. Yeah, this insider suit might be one of the best suits. I know I already showed this already, but willpower mode evidently messed up Geoforce pretty bad to the point where it kind of made him lose consciousness, it seems. Geoforce is kind of a heavy hitter, y'all. Speed Force mode actually lets him outspeed electricity just in raw speed. I mean, characters that are usually on his level normally are too slow to him. He just speed blitzed them in this occasion. Another being like Katana that's usually on his same level of speed. He's like literally too fast for her. Here's another suit called the Thrasher Mech. It's like, yeah, it's a different type. This suit can like fire electric blasts, but that's pretty cool. It even has freeze batarangs. This is awesome. Imagine playing this in a game. One of my favorite suits for Batman, known as the Justice Buster, is one of my favorites just because of how over the toply large it is. And it's literally fought the entire league. Not necessarily being equal to league in every attribute or speed or power and etc., but it's strong enough to not get one-shotted, and it has stuff tailored to their specific and individual weaknesses to help add on top of that. Characters are going all out because they're like on some mind control type stuff and they're kind of crazy. And she's literally fighting them with everything you got, and it doesn't get one-shotted. Wonder Woman is a planet buster with ease. It states here she's not pulling her punches. Is able to send her flying here. Shows enough tech power to be able to do that. Like, look at her face. Looks all creepy. It's also durable enough to take attacks from the Flash. Not only was it able to take a hit from a Superman, it was able to make a plasma shield to block heat vision from Superman. This suit must be made of one of the strongest metals because he's taking multiple hits from some of the strongest members without breaking. And these guys are casual planet busters. People that can punch the moon in half if they wanted to. Still not getting shattered apart in a million pieces. Another thing that makes the Justice Buster insane is that it actually increases his reflexes. It's able to perceive things moving way too fast for himself normally. This next part happens faster than I can process. He states here, I put more money into the suit than about 60% of the world's nations put into their respective militaries. And a good deal of that money went towards a protocol for one man, making sure the servers were fast enough for him, faster than any human reaction, fast enough to map his movements, assuming he wasn't at optimal speed, and then fire the frictionless coating exactly where it needs to be before he can react. The strike is so fast, the whole thing is over before I even know it. Yeah, this has happened before in the other prep type plans. It states here, the relic is called the Bind of Veils, and it was woven by Hephaestus in a moment of doubt. Not long after he forged the lasso, he used an inverted version of the same weave. It's said to be made from wool from the sheep Odysseus' men used to trick Cyclops. It took nearly 2 years to track it down on the magical black market. The suit isn't just armor. It's designed for war with the most powerful heroes on the planet. Whatever it does lack in raw power and speed and strength, etc., which it does have a lot of that, it actually has weaknesses catered to the characters. That's why it's called the Justice Buster. Specially made for Flash, like I literally showed a second ago. Makes it frictionless. And for Aquaman, has a foam that absorbs water. Not be able to really freaking move. Like, that's freaking crazy. Here, the foam is made from powdered magnesium carbonate. It's the most absorbent material on Earth. Covered so many pores that a single gram was nearly 800 meters of surface area. The more you struggle, the more moisture it rips from your body. Now look at me. Justice Buster is made for him. And he has contingencies for Cyborg and Green Lantern. If it's Vic, he states, the electromagnetic nerve tree is up. Hal, you got the Citrian neuralizer. And of course for Superman, he's got more stuff. He does have a lot of raw power, durability, suit, and etc. But whatever raw power he does lack, it can make up for specific tailored weaknesses. Each pod contains microscopic red suns collected from dead solar systems. With the aid of Dr. Ray Palmer, I call them my red giants. He also keeps a piece of kryptonite gum in his suit, like prep. You guys remember the famous Hellbat suit. Probably a lot of people's favorite battle suits that they bring up in discussions because this suit actually does have a lot of power. How powerful? He designed this suit for singular purpose of going toe-to-toe with large-scale threats and extreme battle scenarios. Finished it with a little help from friends, forged in the sun by Clark, and charged with the distinct but limited powers of Hal, Barry, Arthur, Victor, and Diane. This is very vague. I don't know what they mean. Like, does some of their abilities go like in here? The suit, like, how do you charge a suit's powers with the power of Diana? Like, how does that work? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's still something to know. How I can see that it has a little bit of the speed force from Barry. You know, only limits. It says the Hellbat suit has mainly his own limits. It said the energy interchange capacitor draws from my own metabolism. If I'm not careful, my life force can be drained dry by the suit. Just to give you some lore on it. Can summon it like in a little pod. See how he's standing here and it just summons to him? This is one of the prep, like he actually had aid. Power of the suit doesn't just merely go from his intellect. He did have help, but prep time feat.
I mean, for Pete's sake, it's strong enough to rip apart apocalyptic tanks, easily overpower parademons and break them apart. Was able to send Darkseid flying. Nothing too flashy or major. I'm not saying he's on Darkseid's level, but just something to note. Shows that the suit just has insane level of just raw power. Well, not exactly like the Justice Buster, where it does have raw power, but it's tailored to weaknesses. This is just an overall raw power suit. This is being known as the Eradicator, a top tier being. Was able to break his grip. Has enough attack power to seem to be able to harm the Eradicator. This suit doesn't have the most flashy feats, but he's able to, seems to be able to be too fast for parademons and outreact them, stuff like that. It's pretty durable, but it's able to take apocalyptic gear shooting at him. It's very strong, but it does have its limits though. Frankenstein in DC, I know. Hellbite is able to hurt Frankenstein. It's able to create hundreds of batarang. Yeah, that's freaking cool. It can fire a chest blast. This looks very similar to the Unibeam. He uses this thing called Initiate Devastator to be able to amp himself. I'm assuming this has something to do with how the different leaguers contributed in making this suit super powerful. It shows the little Wonder Woman logo here. It says routing, Devastator. So whatever Wonder Woman contributed, this is what the Devastator is. Fist looks like a doggone Iron Fist punch, but that's none of my business. Epic. That one time he flew through a large ship incredibly fast. Okay, I think it's official. If you have a high-tech battle suit, it's just by default it has an invisibility mode, cloaking mode. Literally every person with a battle suit has this. Starting to become standard. It can even bond with foreign energy matter. I remember the Thrasher suit I brought up earlier. It can emit an EMP. And I already showed this suit, but hey, work with me. This Terminus armor that's stored in the Batmobile. It's freaking epic looking when you look at it. I'm not gonna lie, this looks pretty cool. Yeah. This same suit was able to stop a warhead that was heading toward Gotham. And of course it is bulletproof. Durr. Here's the suit the nanomech suit he fought against Superman with. A taser lasso, some rocket grenades, blades. Here's this retro spacesuit that has lasers. Okay, this is getting a bit much. He even has a scarab armor. Even has laser cutters. Has this little pulse that disables mechanized mechs. Then he has the stag armor. This magma suit that can take magma. No, I'm not playing. It really was designed to move through magma. Has this subterranean mech suit. Anti-Bizarro suit. You've got to be kidding me. And it can take hits from Bizarro without shattering them a million pieces instantly. Solar laser fist cuffs. It has all the specific weaknesses tailored to him. Automatic firing batarang. Super high volt electric net. It does pretty well against Bizarro, I would say, right? Another suit that's invisible to the sentient mothership. Other suits he uses, fighting Clayface, example, he just got too much stuff. Call him Iron Man. At this point, he's ready for it all. Literally a pretty long panel. I wish more fights nowadays were this long when it comes to recent comics. It's getting crazy about some of these suits. I don't even know the name of some of these suits. He has a suit he beat Mattello with that literally looks like Superman. Okay, this one looks a little cheesy. It literally looks like Superman, his face. What? Really though? Fights Scare Beast using power armor. At this armor. Fights them, booyah, booyah, and booyah. And in this suit, fights blow for blow. And even a Batman Beyond prototype suit. Oh my goodness, they're hinting towards something here. Lex Luthor's war suit. Batman used it once. Off panel evidently took out Sinestro and Grodd. Sinestro. You know what? I wish they would have shown this full panel for panel though. War suit must be insanity. Oh, wait a minute. You thought I forgot about it, didn't you? Yeah, one of his most recent suits. Some people call this too over the top. The final bat suit Batman ends up getting. It's supposedly supposed to be his most overpowered battle suit to date. I mean, just look how big he is. Give you an idea of his attack power. You see how he does it to Wonder Woman with a punch. You can see all of this that's happening. No, Hawkwoman, no. It takes a hit from Hawkwoman. But literally fighting them all, fighting Martian Manhunt, fighting the whole league, giving him some issues in this crazy suit. His suit's durable enough to take the repercussions of this attack. During the World Forger stuff. It takes a lot of attack power. Let's get some lore on the final bat suit, shall we? It's built upon the Sunbox device I built to determine who would side with us with the league so we could strike first and win the war. Yes, this chair built from Element X allowed you to see people's hearts, but then you took it further, imagine greater. You built the final bat suit around the chair for yourself, not just to determine people's minds, but to change them, rewrite them cell by cell. It can basically read and change the hearts of people cell by cell. This is a more on a recent comic around the 2018 mark. This is high praise from somebody like a god. He said, "You are the greatest knight of the universe, Bruce Wayne." Are we just gonna ignore he can fire out stuff fast enough to catch Flash? I'm just saying. Blast back Martian Manhunter here. You match vision and beams with the League. Hey, just keep this in mind that this isn't even all the suits that I covered in this video. This is just some of them. So just give you a visual representation. I feel like these were probably the highlights ones of the vid. But yeah, I even went over more than this in the actual video, as you can tell. I know what you all are thinking. Batman couldn't possibly have all these suits still, or at least none of them, just sitting in the Batcave, right? Well, even in Rebirth, it's implied that he does have some mechs sitting around. There was something turning all of Batman's tech against him, and you get to really see what does he actually have still in his Batcave sitting around. And what do you know? He still has the Justice Buster, even in Rebirth era, right? You would think all this stuff would be retconned out of existence, but it's still here. Some of the stuff still carries over, but Superman destroyed it. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure you respect the Batman's intelligence. That's one of the things people respect the most about him. Did you know his prep time feats were this insane? I know a lot of people might overhype some of his prep time feats, but a lot of the stuff they overhype kind of has some meaning to it. Yeah, there's some points here and there where people do overhype it, of course, but like for the most part, he is one of the prep gods of fiction. If we got to be honest, like you can't lowball him too much. Even without any suits, he's still showing superhuman feats. How'd you like his prep time feats? Do you like him having all these battle suits? Do you like his preparation and tactics feats where he beats people like using specific tailored weaknesses, creating cures and stuff like that, just showing his pure intellect? One thing I like about the battle suits is that a lot of the suits, it's not his standard gear. It's not stuff you always see him wearing. Like a lot of the suits have repercussions. For example, like the Hellbat, he can't just use that suit too much, which is one of the reasons why he only uses it as a last resort, which makes sense why he's not just wearing that all the time, and he would just one-shot all his rogues that he fights in his gallery. You know what I mean?
You guys already know he's had temporary battle armors, but what about temporary actual power-ups for Batman when he literally gets all new abilities for a second? You know, like when he became Trinity Batman, made of shadows and darkness, the god of judgment and night. In this state, he's fought Wonder Woman, so he's definitely on a new level of power. He embodies the void. You are the void hound, they say. I am the void. Welcome. He can also endure attacks from Superman, super powerful beings that can't just one-shot him. He can just take the attacks in this new state. In this state, with the help of the Trinity, they rewrite reality the way they see fit, the way it's supposed to be. You guys know how these stories usually turn out. They usually get these temporary powers and then they end up turning everything back to normal, like turning the JSA back to they once were, stating they will restore this world. As you can see here, back to their former self, the JSA are. Of course, with the help of Trinity Superman and Trinity Wonder Woman, of course. Power-ups, right? Seems to be able to change his size and just envelop you in shadows, like he's literally shadows. Like it totally matches his persona and this when it comes to the temporary power-up. Seems to be on some Law Gear type stuff, and he can even change his size, it appears. Since it's DC, you know they have to have it where Batman gets Superman's powers for a little bit. He seems to quickly learn how to use his abilities. He even stated in detail how the burning in the back of the eyes is the heat vision trying to get out, so let it out. He even explains Arctic breath, breathe in and hold it for a second. Imagine your lungs turn into ice, feel it, and release. For hurricane blast, take the deepest breath you can, feel the storm building inside. He literally explaining how to do the abilities with the Superman ability. Then use it all in conjunction in combat. That's a lethal combination. Imagine this level of power, this level of fighting skills Batman has. I haven't slept, I haven't eaten, I haven't felt the need to. Thanks to his new perspective on things, he literally has no problem stopping crime or disturbances on a global scale, looking out for people. Super bat for you, right? Bulletproof, tearing stuff apart physically. Superman strong, allegedly. Proof of him being on this level is the fact that he can damage powerhouse tears like Wonder Woman and even Supergirl. Green Lanterns even use constructs on him for Pete's sake. But it should be noted in this occasion, they are pulling their punches. They're not just dark evil folk. Ha! Flying at super crazy speed. Took this punch from Wonder Woman, flew that hard, and he's good. Let's not forget that he kind of scuffled with the whole league, including powerhouse tiers like Wonder Woman, Firestorm, multiple Lanterns. I showed a little bit of this already, but yeah, this is where all of this is coming from. Punched Wonder Woman to get her out the equation, then fighting Red Tornado, Hawk Girl. Notice how he's using brains in combat, stating how he's forcing Stewart to stop and help. That power-up aside, he actually has another power-up called Sorcerer King Batman, and this Batman got his own pet dragon. Ain't that crazy? This was a magical type fight, you know, in this case with Cersei, another magical type being. He takes a blast from Cersei in this particular occasion, trying to show them how the Sorcerer Kings work. Matched an enhanced creeper in this occasion, blocking attacks. Imagine Batman with a whole bunch of magical artifacts or talisman. These grenades he got, like, I'm assuming these are some type of magical grenades to freeze his Blue Devil solid, and then has one to create vines to ensnare Ragman. Talismans, baby. He also has acid capsules, I guess, and apparently has some time travel at this moment in time via temporary power-ups, I guess, and can even bind Superman with his equipment, as you can see here, wrapping him all the way up. By the way, he got this little sword he got. He can block heat vision with it. He even trapped the Phantom Stranger in the amulet. Yeah, so Batman with magical talisman is kind of scary. But yep, this temporary power up only. And Batman 99% of the time isn't nothing like this. You know, there's a time Batman became Demon Batman. He can withstand attacks from Superman, even cut and harm Superman. So this was a pretty insane temporary power, wouldn't you say? He had to simply accept help. The power is his. I can feel it coursing through his veins. Power enough to shake the earth. So yeah, he was pretty strong here. Demon Batman. Power was given to him by Lady Blaze. He can jump really freaking high. Or one can say, or step across the sea. No, I wasn't playing. It really is Blaze's doing. Notice how here he's so strong, temporarily able to match Superman's strength. So this is a pretty crazy power up. You can see their muscles matching up with one another. It's literally a contest of strength. Superman stated how powerful his demon was. He says, I may not survive another blow like that. Even faster than I've ever moved in my life, he says. So Batman was powered up. Superman did get killed him though. I'm not going to be a wanker. But Batman continued. They fought more. Even made Superman sleepy for the most part. There was this time, merged with the machines at the end of time. End of time, hyper machine evolutionized Batman crazy. It gives him knowledge of its entire history of the universe down to every microscopic detail. His presence lowers the temperature of the room. He can just teleport away in the middle of combat if he has to. He can use some type of energy attack, blast power type stuff. He can assess threats. He did the Starfire. In this particular occasion, he takes out Donna Troy and Cyborg with a swarm of bats. Jesse Quick's down. He neutralized her kinetic energy somehow. There's a time Batman became the god of knowledge. It allowed him to render certain areas invisible, just so he can talk to the guy known as Joe Chill. Just give you a little glimpse of how powerful he was in this state. In this new state, he's actually bulletproofed. Yeah, don't even try to shoot him with this level of power. Can even withstand blasts from Mobius. That's the anti-monitor, by the way. Just because he's in his chair doesn't mean he can't punch you. That's crazy, right? God of knowledge, Batman can predict the future. One can say even alter the outcome. The only thing the chair doesn't know is who Mobius is or who anti-monitor is. Even while in a different universe, he knows that Darkseid died. He can read minds. It knows everything, past and present. He can also travel between universes at will, teleport him in the car to Antarctica, and even teleport to Paradise Island. Then we gotta talk about the time he became Cyborg Batman. He has limited precognition. He has energy blasts like blasting Superman back in this occasion. Literally tangled with Superman and threw him. His blast power in this state actually matched Superman's heat vision. He has nanotech holding him together here. Cyborg Batman state. Extended fight with Superman Big Blue himself. In occasion with raw power. Showed some of this already. Punches seem to actually affect him with just his raw power in general. And it's pretty. You see the blood extended. He even put him to sleep. Let's not ignore the fact that working together, they took on Mongol together, strength. Putting Superman to sleep is impressive, but I do want to make some context known. They stated, Superman, defend yourself. Superman was kind of like not defending himself, let him take the final blow. They even stated he's wide open, hit him. So he actually hit him. That's a death blow, they supposedly say. And that happened. So he kind of let him hit him, but it still can't really hold back how durable you are, right? Especially when you're durable as Superman. He's even become a lantern, a white lantern at that. He was definitely past your average Green Lantern because there was literally 3 Green Lanterns trying to contain him and he literally busted out with raw power. The ring itself kind of has auto defenses. Like if you try to reach for it, it makes spikes so you can't grab the ring. The ring's primary function seems to protect itself and the host. No surprise he can make constructs like maces like other lanterns can do to hurt Vandal Savage in this case. Makes a hand to blast Vandal Savage away with a big giant hand. Attacks a ton of Green Lanterns by making tendrils like that. So not only has Batman had a lot of battle suits over the years via prep time and stuff, it's better to count Batman's prep time feats as his actual feats versus the actual temporary powers because these powers he can't just get even with like necessarily prep. You can't just go out and get these whenever he wants to. But he also has had a number of power-ups over the years where he just gets a ridiculous amount of power, literally becoming literal darkness, literally becoming Superman tier, like because he got the powers of Superman, became a cyborg, nanotech Batman that's strong enough to hurt characters that are Superman tier like Mongol, became a literal White Lantern, basically a being that can blast away a universe. Watch my White Lantern videos if you want to see how strong this is. I'm not going to go over all that in this. Batman using sorcery and talismans and magical tunics to battlefield remove you. Batman literally becoming an actual demon that can fight on par with Sue. Becoming the god of knowledge where he knows the past, present, and future and has more ability and can still use martial arts on top of it and teleport and can travel between realms. And then you got Batman that merged with machines at the end of time and became strong as crap. Just like, gosh. But one last reminder, all of that was a temporary power-up, guys. So please don't be trying to bring this stuff up like he can just access this stuff at will. No, this was a temporary power-up, something that Marvel and DC Comics like to do with a lot of their characters, and then make them back to normal after the power-up is gone, or the story is done, or they succeeded in their mission. Which one of these temporary power-ups was your favorite, though? Kind of like seeing Batman using sorcery and talismans, and he was actual darkness. That kind of matches his persona. I kind of like him being White Lantern, too, though. So it's a lot of them out there. And merging with machines was pretty dope, too. Pause the video if you want to right here when it comes to standard equipment, utility belt, or Batmobile. It has upgrades over as time goes by. Here's some of the specs of literally the old Batmobile model. Bulletproof. Batmobile and Space Shuttle use the same technology. They can fly if they need to. It weighs 5 tons. He even sometimes makes sketches of the upgrades he might want for the Batmobiles and the possible futures and stuff. EMPs won't necessarily work on it. Here's a Bat Monster truck. The monster truck Batmobile is bulletproof. It better be. Has some sort of flying ATV. Obviously, he has motorcycles, and the Batmobile can put on his armor. Then he has a large sort of equipment that I wouldn't necessarily call his standard gear that he doesn't necessarily take into battle. He has a dagger that carries a small piece of the power of Shazam. He's in possession of the Helmet of Fate, even a trident similar to Aquaman. He's in the possession of the Crusader Shield and the Thunderer. He has devices capable of hitting Flash, a gun that generates energy, cages against characters like Clayface, who are like elemental type characters, energy gun capable of KOing Bizarro tiers, who's a Superman tier basically. Gauntlet containing every single kind of kryptonite. Apparently has a mother box thanks to this Hellbat event. Possesses text on magic. Yeah, so Batman is not to be disrespected, man. He's one of the best superheroes of all time for a reason. Has some of the best story. It's comics, bro. You can become Super Soldier tier just from training, evidently, in comics. Just like how anime characters can cut mountains without no superpowers. That's just how it is. But I'll see you guys later. Respect Batman. You guys ready for the new Batman movie? But thank you guys that have donated to the channel. Appreciate it a lot.